The internet's back on. And if you didn't watch the last video, you probably don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but I just made a Pythagorean Theorem video. I don't wear this outfit every day. But I didn't do a lot of examples. I'm just going to crank out some examples. So I got a little music to help get me pumped. Yeah, it's all good. So ain't no one's judging you here. I am not judging you. Trust me. Alright, well, I'm gonna turn the music down just slightly so I feel energized enough, I suppose. I can do this. It's the end of the week, but I can do it. So Pythagorean Theorem, beautiful, beautiful theorem that says if you square each leg and add it together, it's the same as the square of the hypotenuse. So let's look at it. The legs always make up the 90-degree angle. That's how you can locate those legs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to square this one. I'm going to go 10 squared plus 7 squared is equal to x squared. But I'm also going to do this geometrically because I don't know, it connects to me. I love to do it. I can't say why. So here, when I say 7 squared, I literally mean make a square that's 7 by 7. And when I say make 10 squared, it's literally make a square that's 10 by 10. And x squared is the square that is x by x. Okay, so that's what I know so far. Hey, that's cool. I'm all good. I'm going to put the x there. So now I just got to figure out what is 10 squared. That's 10 times 10 is 100. 7 squared is 49. And that's equal to x squared. Over in this diagram, what that means is that this area is 100. Now I'm going to go with units because I like to use units. So I'm going to put everything in feet. I'm just going to assume that this is meant to be 10 feet and 7 feet. So the area is in feet squared. This is 49 feet squared. So when I add them together, I get 149 is equal to x squared. That means this area is 149 feet squared. Ta-da! How do you like me now? Ice Cube, the poet. All right. So that's 149. I think, and I said this before. I think back in the day, the root of the square is what they called the side length of the square. So like if you got a square whose area is 9, if you square root 9, it tells you the dimensions of the square. So I have a square whose size is 149. So if I square root 149, I'll get the dimensions of the square. So I'm going to do that for you right now. So we'll go 149, and it's 12.2, approximately. So I had to round, but that's 12.2. So that means this square, it's 12.2 by 12.2 by 12.2. And so the x is therefore equal to 12.2. But over here you can holler with some algebra as well, because this says x times x is 149. And so if you want to undo something squared, oh come on, this marker doesn't even work. Yo, get out of here. I don't want you. I don't know what markers that work. I don't want you either. Alright, but I want a different color than black here. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to square root both sides. If you square root something, you get itself. And this is going to be the same answer, approximately 12.2. Alright, let's go with another example. Come on. There it is. Oh, alright. Give me some music while I'm writing it. Let's do it. Oh my God, mercy. There it is. Okay, so now one thing, it's one of this is I'm drawing contrast from here, because here we didn't know the hypotenuse. Now we know the hypotenuse is 20, because these are the legs, because the legs make up the 90-degree angle. How do you find the legs? Well, that's a very interesting question. You find the legs because the legs make up the 90-degree angle. Oh, I'll tell you what, Mr. Miller, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. That's unbelievable. Man, that's unbelievable. Okay, so what we're going to do, you got a couple options here. I like to kind of just write this so we have c squared is equal to a squared plus b squared. And so that means that c squared minus a squared is the same as b squared. You can write it in terms of one of the legs. Or, which I'll get rid of some of this, jazz, the hypotenuse squared minus one of the legs squared will give you the other leg squared. That's another way to kind of think about this, if you will. So that's what we're going to do here. We're still going to square x, and we'll add it to the square of 7, and we know it equals the square of 20. So, if I solve x squared here, I'm going to subtract 7 squared from both sides. It's 20 squared minus 7 squared. All right, so again, we made a square, and we made a square like so, okay? Now, I just want my calculator so I can do this rather quickly. And we got 20 squared minus 7 squared is 351, okay? So we got x squared, let's see, is equal to, let's just do 400 minus 49. So x squared is equal to 351. And now you're going to square root both sides. Square root both sides, and you get, I gotta ask my calculator. A lot of times on these calculators here, you gotta hit second function because the square root sign is in blue, and you go 351, and bam, there it is, 18.71, 18.73. Beautiful, that's the answer. Kind of cool what we did as well. Like, if you think about it, we squared them all, so I even squared x, so I got this big square up here. But this is the biggest square. And then what I did is I realized that this is 400, and the area of this square is 49, and this area, that square, is x squared. What it is, I actually subtracted 49 from this. I kind of took it away. And I said, oh, well then that means that this portion is 351 because this plus this has to equal that. And so this must be 351, and therefore x must be 18.73. And let's close this out. I swear, I'm trying. I'm trying to go. If you think I try to go fast, it's because I'm trying to go home. I want to go home. It's been a long day. I want to go home. But I also care about your education, so I wanted to make a video first. Actually, 2 videos. I hope this video finds you well. I hope it was useful. And I hope you are enjoying, I don't know, whatever you're doing. I hope you're enjoying it. That's pretty good advice, right?
There is a time for resting.